My stepmother looked straight at me and said, "You're not coming with us. This trip is for a real family." She didn't shout. She didn't sound angry. She said it calmly, like she was explaining something obvious, like I should already understand my place. In that moment, it felt like someone reached inside my head and turned the volume off. No ringing, no dramatic reaction, just silence. What she didn't say out loud hurt even more. They were still going to my lake house. For 10 days. Without me. The same lake house I owned. The same house I had cleaned, prepared, and stocked for them. I didn't argue. I didn't cry. I made one quiet decision that changed everything. And when they arrived, they learned that silence can cut deeper than any argument. My name is Hannah. I'm in my late 20s. I work a regular office job in the city. Nothing glamorous. Nothing dramatic. For most of my life, I believed that problems could be solved by being patient, by staying quiet, by not making things harder than they needed to be. I thought if I waited long enough, if I stayed kind enough, things would work themselves out. I grew up feeling safe. Especially at the lake house. Bare feet on cold wooden floors in the morning, the smell of pine drifting through open windows, my mom humming while she made breakfast, my dad already outside, checking the water like it mattered. That house felt untouchable, like nothing bad could reach us there. Then my mom got sick, and then she was gone. After the funeral, the lake house stopped feeling like a vacation spot. It felt like a memory we were afraid to touch. My dad tried to hold things together. I'll give him that. But grief changed him in quiet ways I didn't understand yet. A few years later, he remarried. My stepmother moved in with her 2 daughters, and overnight, the energy of our home shifted. Not loudly. Not dramatically. Furniture moved. Photos disappeared. New traditions formed without me. I was never yelled at. I was simply edited out. When I went away for school, coming home felt strange, like I needed permission. When I moved into my own apartment and started working full-time, that distance became my shield. I told myself it was fine. Families change. People drift. The lake house came back into my life through my mom's side of the family. When my aunt passed away, it was left to me. Legally. Completely. No shared ownership. No confusion. Just mine. I should have sold it. That would have been the practical choice. But something in me couldn't let it go. That house held the version of my family that once felt real. When my dad and stepmom asked if they could use it sometimes, I said yes. I wanted to believe generosity could fix what distance hadn't. So when they suggested a summer vacation together, everyone under one roof, I felt hopeful. Genuinely hopeful. I told myself this was our reset. Our chance to finally act like a family again. I had no idea I was preparing my own replacement. I threw myself into the planning. I drove to the lake house on my days off, aired out rooms, washed sheets, stocked groceries, prepared space for people I wanted to belong with. There were signs I ignored. My stepmother talked about sleeping arrangements without asking me. She invited extra guests casually. When I tried to speak, she smiled and said, "We'll figure it out," then changed the subject. I told myself I was being sensitive. A few days before the trip, my dad asked me to come over to go over details. We never got that far. My stepmother stayed standing, arms crossed loosely. She said my name once. Then she said it. "We've decided it would be better if you didn't come on this trip." I laughed, just a breath of disbelief. "What do you mean?" She didn't hesitate. "This is about family bonding. A real family vacation." I turned to my dad. He stared at his hands. I waited. He never looked up. That silence did more damage than yelling ever could. I nodded once, said I understood, and left. In my car, my hands shook so badly I had to sit there before turning the key. That's when it hit me. This wasn't a misunderstanding. This wasn't thoughtless planning. They had made a choice, and my father had let it happen. By the time I got home, the hurt had turned cold. Clear. I opened my laptop, pulled up the deed, read it slowly. My house, my name, no loopholes. For the first time in years, my breathing steadied. I didn't tell anyone what I was about to do. 2 days later, I drove to the lake house early. Not nostalgic. Focused. I called a locksmith. Watched him replace every lock. The sound wasn't loud, but it was final. That night, I cooked dinner alone on the deck, and I realized something important. If they didn't consider me family, they didn't get access to my home. The next day, they arrived. Laughing. Relaxed. Confident. Keys went into the lock. Nothing happened. Confusion turned to irritation. Knocking turned to pounding. I opened the door just enough to be heard. "Yes?" I asked calmly. "What did you do to the locks?" My stepmother demanded. "Oh," I said lightly, "I changed them." "You can't do that." "I can," I said. "It's my house." She said they planned everything. I said, "You planned a family trip without me." My dad tried to speak. He couldn't, and that told me everything I needed to know. I closed the door, locked it, and watched them leave. Later that evening, my friends arrived. Laughter returned, but this time it was easy. No tension, no guessing where we stood. For the first time in years, the lake house felt like it belonged to the present. That summer taught me something I wish I'd learned sooner. Family isn't defined by blood or labels. It's defined by respect. And the moment someone decides you don't belong, they lose the right to your time, your space, and your generosity. Choosing yourself isn't cruel. It's necessary.